Hey guys, welcome back to Math for My Desk. In today's video, I will be deriving the derivative with respect to x of tangent of x. So I'm basically proving that the derivative of tangent of x with respect to x is secant squared of x. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first step obviously is recognizing that tan of x is equal to sine of x divided by cosine of x. And so this allows us to basically use the quotient rule in order to divide this quotient right here, sine of x over cosine of x. So what I can say here is that the derivative with respect to x of tan of x is equal to the derivative with respect to x of sine of x divided by cosine of x. So all I have to do is essentially solve for this in order to get this. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I have a function y is equal to sine of x over cosine of x, and I want to find dy dx, so the derivative of y with respect to x, what I'm going to do is use the quotient rule. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and differentiate the numerator. The derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by the denominator, which is also cosine of x. And then from that, I'm going to subtract the derivative of the denominator, which is negative sine of x. The derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by the numerator, which is sine of x. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide all of this. Actually, let me make that better. I'm going to divide all of this by the denominator, which is cosine of x squared. So we have cosine squared of x. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously go ahead and simplify this further since it's definitely possible. So what I have is dy dx is equal to cosine of x times cosine of x is simply cosine squared of x. So I have cosine squared of x. Then over here, negative and negative is positive. So I have plus sine of x times sine of x, which is plus sine squared of x divided by cosine squared of x. What do we know from the Pythagorean identity? We know that cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x over here is equal to 1. This is the Pythagorean identity. So what I know is that dy dx is equal to 1 over cosine squared of x. 1 over cosine squared of x is equal to 1 over cosine of x squared. Why is that? Because 1 to the power of anything is always 1. So this statement and this statement right here are equivalent. Now what do we know about 1 over cosine of x? 1 over cosine of x is simply a different way of saying secant of x. So what I know is that 1 over cosine of x, as I said, is secant of x. So we have secant of x squared, which I can write as secant squared of x. And this right here is the answer. So to summarize, the answer to what is the derivative with respect to x of tangent of x, that will be, as we just figured out, secant squared of x. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you soon for another video.